Hello friends, and welcome to the next challenge in my Discord animation challenges. And this time, as you've seen from the title, is the swinging pendulum. And it's very similar to the forever bouncing ball because it's a cycling animation where the animation repeats back to the start. And it's got the same acceleration and deceleration phases as the bouncing ball. So when you draw the ball, it's either getting faster or slower. And it changes speed only as it passes the center point. So this animation is here to solidify the speeding up and slowing down of the ball's movement, but this time in a different direction. So where the falling ball has this kind of motion, with the balls closer at the top and moving further away as it falls, and the rising ball has the opposite motion, with the balls further apart at the bottom and getting closer as it rises. So the pendulum action is both of these motions but placed on the path of the swing. So put simply, it looks a little bit like this, where the ball moves slowly from the top of the swing, fast to the middle, and then slower back up the other side until it changes direction. So we'll also use a guide for the ball, and as before, if you sketch the ball and don't use the geometry or other tools, you'll get more out of this challenge. So let's jump straight in and get started. So first we'll add a guide level, and I'll use a vector level for this. And I like using vector levels for my guides because you can adjust the actual lines on a vector level after you've added them, so they make it much easier for adding guides. So on this level I'll add a point for where the pendulum string will attach, so I'll use the brush tool and just place a dot at the top centre. So then we'll add two circles for the ball to swing in between, centering them on this point. So let's change to the geometry tool. I'm going to choose a circle from the shape, and then click on the center point and make a large circle, maybe there, and then click on the center point again and then make another larger circle. That'll be the boundaries if we're going to add the pendulum weight. So this will make it easier to hand draw the ball without copying it, but still keeping roughly the same size. Okay, let's add a Toonz raster level for the pendulum weight. Let's extend the guide out, and we'll add a new palette entry. For that palette entry, I'll choose a raster pencil. Okay, let's add the leftmost ball. And then we'll add the rightmost highest ball over here. So we'll go to frame 2 and turn on the onion skin. And this is where you'll start to notice the symmetry between both sides of the swing. And to keep it symmetrical, I'll add a guide on the left ruler by clicking and dragging on the left hand side until it's at the top of the ball there. And now when I draw the ball at the right hand side, it'll be at exactly the same height. So after swinging from left to right, it swings back to the left again. So we'll copy the first drawing after the second by selecting on it, choosing Ctrl+C to copy, going to frame 3 and pressing Ctrl+V to paste. And I'll just take that guide off the left there by clicking and dragging it. And I want each swing to last 1 second, which is the same timing as the bouncing ball from the first challenge. So I'll drag the first drawing to last 24 frames, and then we'll drag the second drawing to last a further 24 frames. And we'll set the repeat cycle on frame 48, so I'll right click and choose Set Stop Marker, and we'll extend the guide to last the same time. And now, if I play this on repeat, you'll see the timing of that swing. Okay, so we want the weighted ball to move from frame 1 through to frame 24 on the opposite side. On frame 12 is where we need the ball in the very centre, so let's add that. Now do the same between the right hand side drawing and when it comes back to the left. So now I just need to add the drawings in between to show the acceleration of the ball as it comes down the slope, and then deceleration as it goes up the opposite side. And then I'll just use the selection tool to adjust the position of these balls, just to make sure that I've got the acceleration looking exactly as I want it. So I just need to replicate that on the opposite side. Good, so the swing is working from the left to the right. So now I just need to add the drawings to make the ball come back in the opposite direction. And there's two ways you can do this. One is you can use the onion skin to show the balls in the opposite direction and then just trace them over into 12 new drawings, or we could just include the previous 12 drawings shown in reverse. And that's what I'll do here for this simple pendulum. So we'll delete all of the drawings following this movement in this one direction, and then we'll highlight them all, which you can do by clicking and dragging over them all, or you can click on this green bar down the side of a column and that selects them all, and then we'll choose the right click option, edit cell numbers, swing, and that just copies and pastes all the previous drawings but in reverse order. So you can see I've drawn up to drawing number 13, and then the drawings are copied 12 down to 1. So we don't need this number 1 drawing at the end, so I can highlight and delete that, because otherwise we'll get a duplicate drawing at the beginning. So I've adjusted all my drawings so they're all only shown for 2 frames. So we've got drawings going from 1 through to drawing 13, and then back down again to drawing number 2 at the end. Now if you prefer, you can just draw all of these drawings, but for a simple animation like this, sometimes it's good to get used to the shortcuts that you find in OpenToonz. So now the ball's swinging, we just need to add the string. And we'll do that on the same drawing using the pen tool. And again, you could use the geometry tool and use the line option, but we'll draw this by hand, just for the practice. And we'll start the line from the centre point to go down to the ball, otherwise it'll be trickier to end the line on that point, and you'll end up with the ball flickering as you miss the point on subsequent lines. So let's undo those. So start from the point and aim towards the nearest centre point of the ball. Good. Now do that for each drawing. And try and do it in one smooth motion if you can. Okay, so now that's added, I can hide the guide by clicking on the buttons at the top of the column, and then let's take a look. So this is showing on 2s at the minute, which is fine to submit for your entry, so I'll go ahead and add more drawings to put this onto 1s. So there we go, that's the swinging pendulum. Why not give this a try and submit it to the Discord? And I'll see you next time for another challenge. And that's a Darren Tea.